Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Freya, I'm Jason. And we're bringing you today's video. Okay, Fuzzy, I love you too. Yes, I do. As always, guys, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We're just a small family channel. We'd love to talk about books. This is what we want to do, and we're going to do this anyway. But any support that you guys may give us would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So today I want to talk about an author that I've talked about in the past, and a series that I've talked about in the past. I just picked up another one of the books, so I figured I'd go ahead and talk about it again, as far as the series goes. So today I want to talk about David Weber and the book Bolo. So I've talked about a few of the Bolo books. So obviously I'm going to skip the 4 categories thing, because I've kind of gone over this in the past. I just want to talk about the book. So David Weber, guys. David Weber is a fantastic author. I've talked about quite a few of his books up to this point. Great author. Just great author. I can't rave about him enough. And of course, Bolo, which was created by Keith Laumers. I also can't rave about it enough. And just the sheer concept of it. From a former soldier's standpoint, even though I was not a tanker, would never want to be a tanker, and really I can't even imagine it. I still find the Bolo series absolutely incredible. And one of the things that I really love about the Bolo series is, one, seeing as how it's like, you know, quote unquote far future kind of thing, and it's also like an empire. You know, it's got the war that goes on, but because of this empire of planets, the authors that write in the Bolo universe, they're able to write any kind of story they want. They really can, because if they want to write a different kind of story, maybe they want to write some kind of feudal story, well, they just set it on a planet that has some kind of feudal system. So they can write any kind of story they want, any kind of setting they want, just go to a different planet, which is really awesome. So Bolo is a collection, like a lot of the books, it's a collection of, I don't want to call them short stories, because you guys notice this is a full-blown novel here. You know, it's full-blown novel here. And it is 4 stories, I believe it is. 4 stories. Yep. 4 stories in here. Now, this one, with Bolo, what they kind of try and the stories in this one, what they more deal with the Bolos as, you know, as there's these ultra powerful planetary level siege engines, basically, but they're also AI, especially the later generations. And another great thing with the Bolos is they cover all these different generations. So again, you can write whatever kind of story you want, especially with the later generations and the personalities of them. That's the best way to put it. The personalities of them. That's what I really love, because almost all the books in the Bolo universe tend to deal more with the personalities of the Bolos themselves than with the human characters. Some of them are awesome, you know, Manika, Trevor. This has been in one of the other books, and this one as well. Pretty awesome characters. But oftentimes they deal with the characters, the Bolos themselves. Now in this one, they more deal with the what ifs. They deal with a lot more what ifs on the personality side of the Bolos, and what if they go bad? What if they go wrong? What if they go traitor? What if they go rogue, basically? And yes, there's a book, Rogue Bolo, that we reviewed before. But with these stories, they're very interesting. I mean, the very first story deals with a Bolo that is basically lost. And gets found again. And it's interesting, because this one would be the very first of the fully sentient, fully AI capable Bolos. And it's pretty interesting. Naturally, they, of course, has to go to battle at some point. But very interesting. It's a lost Bolo. It's found like 100 years later. Now, the second story is even better. You've got a Bolo that turns coat? Doesn't turn coat, turns tail. And is being chased by another Bolo. Basically, in a battle, it suddenly withdrew. It suddenly withdrew from the line. A bunch of people died because of it, and they managed to win, but just barely. So other Bolos died, people died, and the remaining surviving damaged Bolo is going after the Bolo that ran away. The one that ran away, the one that pulled off the line and caused all kinds of lives. And they deal with the whys. The whys. Why did they run? Why did it run away? What happened? How could this AI that has all these safety things programmed into it, suddenly turn around. So they deal with that. Now the third one I actually kind of skipped a little bit because this one we've actually talked about before because it's come up in one of the other books, and this one is the Monica, Trevor, and Bolo Benji story. But the last one also deals with one that with one of the final Bolos that near the tail end of the war. One of the final Bolos near the tail end of the war, near the tail end of everything. And that's the other cool thing with the Bolos, guys, is that what Keith Laumers created and what they do with it. They cover all these battles. They cover this war. They cover these individual stories in different settings, different time frames, different levels of Bolo sentience and ability, what they can do, saving people. Sometimes they've been in space. Sometimes they've been on the ground. Sometimes they've been both. They're sometimes it's the final battle of the war, but along with it, Keith Laumers has this war story that goes on along with it that leads to a lot of the stories that come up within the Bolos. Now this one is interesting because it deals with the final battle with the Bolos, or not with the Bolos, humanity's final battle with their great enemy that they've been going at. It's been kind of the thrust of most of the Bolo books and most of the Bolo stories, and how it ends. Because we're basically down to the end game. The last few surviving humans, the last few surviving alien enemies, and how does it work? And what happens? And who wins? And what happens next? And how can a Bolo affect that? And that's what's interesting. That's what's absolutely fascinating. It actually might be my favorite story of them all. And I'm continuing to try and hunt down more of the Bolo books. We spend a lot of time in used bookstores, guys. In fact, if any of you guys ever come out to Vegas, we might actually film an episode or two where we just review the used bookstores out here. Or if you ever go to Los Angeles, the Last Bookstore, really awesome. Last Bookstore out in Los Angeles it's the world famous bookstore. It's 2 stories. It's pretty awesome. But out here in Vegas, we found a couple of fantastic used bookstores. One unfortunately closed on us. It was great, but we found a couple others. That we really like. So every single time I am at one of those bookstores, I'm looking for the Bolo books. So I'm going to try and get them all. And talk about all of them. And hopefully they continue to write more and more of them. So guys, after you guys hit the like and subscribe buttons, go check out David Weber's Bolo, based off of Keith Laumers' Bolo series. Thank you everybody for watching. We will catch you next time. Bye now.